October 27th, 2002. A rainy Sunday inside a gated community north of Buenos Aires. A 50-year-old sociologist runs a bath, locks the door, and dies before the water gets cold. The first doctor on scene logs it as an accident. The husband signs the papers. By the next morning, she's in the ground. 36 days later, they open the coffin in the rain, and a forensic coroner pulls 5.32 caliber bullets out of her skull. Her name was María Marta Garcia Belsunce. She was 50 years old. She'd been married to the same man, Carlos Carrascosa, since she was 19. No biological children, a sociologist, the vice president of a foundation called Missing Children Argentina. People who knew her described her in one word: careful. Carmel was the kind of place she'd chosen to live in for exactly that reason. 300 houses, 24-hour private security, a gate, a guard, a camera, a logbook. A place built so nobody could surprise you. And yet, on October 27, 2002, somebody did. 3 things happened that afternoon. Each of them, on its own, looks like nothing. Together, they describe a murder. 3:45 p.m. She comes home from a women's tennis tournament. The maid sees her park her bicycle, walk through the kitchen, climb the stairs. 7:06. Her husband is downstairs in the den watching a football match. River Plate, 2-0 down to Estudiantes. He turns the volume up. 7:30. The match ends. He goes upstairs. He knocks on the bathroom door. No answer. He opens it. His wife is face down in the tub. The bath has overflowed. There is pink-thinned blood on the tiles. Her hair, long, dark, matted with bath water, fans out around her head like ink. He drags her out. He slips. He calls his sister-in-law. He calls a private ambulance. He calls a doctor who lives 4 streets away. A neighbor with a medical license, not a coroner, named Juan Govri Gordon. Govri Gordon is at the house in 8 minutes. He kneels by the body. He checks for a pulse. He lifts her wrist and lets it fall. He sees blood on the tap, blood on the tiles, blood in the water. He sees a woman who slipped in a bath. He signs the death certificate. Cause of death: cardiac arrest, accidental fall. He never lifts her hair. He never sees the bullets. He never looks for them. Within 12 hours, the family begins arranging a wake. By the next morning, Monday, she is in the ground. Here is where the story takes its first turn. And remember, we are still on the night of the death. Inside the house, a masseuse named Beatriz Michelini has arrived to find her client face down in a tub. She helps lift the body. She helps clean. While she's on her hands and knees on the hallway carpet, outside the bathroom door, she finds something. A small piece of metal, less than a centimeter long, misshapen, heavy for its size. She doesn't know what it is. She hands it to a member of the family, who in turn shows it to a police commissioner who arrives later. The commissioner looks at it, picks it up, smells it, and tells them, quote, "It's a Pituto, medical equipment, probably from a respirator. Flush it." So they flush it. Years later, a court will rule that the small, heavy thing on the hallway carpet was a deformed lead projectile. It was the 6th bullet, the one that missed her head and lodged in the wall behind her before bouncing onto the floor. It is the only piece of the murder weapon that left the house in human hands, and the man who told them to flush it was a cop. For 36 days, María Marta Garcia Belsunce was officially the victim of an accident. Her husband received condolences. Her foundation announced a memorial fund. Her gravestone was carved. River Plate played 4 more matches, and then a routine paperwork problem cracked the case open. The original death certificate had been signed by Govri Gordon, a neighbor, not a coroner. Under Argentine law, a sudden death in a private home requires a state-licensed forensic doctor to clear the body before burial. The paperwork didn't match. The local prosecutor's office in San Isidro opened a routine inquiry. The lead prosecutor, a man named Diego Molina Pico, son of a federal judge, 6 months into the role, in a province that had just changed its laws to put prosecutors like him in charge of investigations for the first time. He needed a win. On December 2, 2002, 36 days after she was buried, a forensic team exhumed María Marta Garcia Belsunce in a Buenos Aires cemetery in the rain. They opened the coffin. They photographed the body. They took the head to the morgue. And there, under the autopsy lights, they found not a laceration from a faucet, but 5.32 caliber bullet wounds in a tight cluster behind her right ear. 5 bullets, 1 missed, 6 shots fired at close range into the head of a 50-year-old woman who had locked her bathroom door against an empty house. And the prosecutor, Diego Molina Pico, was about to make a choice that would define the next 22 years of his career. He looked at the evidence, he looked at the family, and he decided he already had his killer. Carlos Carrascosa was a stockbroker, 60 years old, married 31 years. By every external account, a quiet man who had spent the afternoon of his wife's death 2 rooms away watching a football match. By December of 2002, Diego Molina Pico had decided that Carlos Carrascosa had killed her. The theory, Carrascosa shot his wife. The family, half-siblings, in-laws, the family doctor, knew and helped him cover it up. They had gathered the night of the wake at the elder brother's house in what would become known in the press as the Circuito Cerrado, the closed circuit meeting, the family conspiracy. The prosecutor leaked it to the press. Specifically, he leaked it to La Nación, the Argentine paper of record, through a press team operating directly out of his office. Years later, the investigative journalist Pablo Duggan would publish a book on the case. In it, he quotes a spokesperson for the prosecutor's office directly. The quote, "The directive was to destroy the family." Why? Because Buenos Aires had just changed its laws. For the first time, prosecutors, not judges, ran investigations. If Molina Pico's first big case fell apart in public, it wasn't just his career, it was the new system. "If we don't save the fiscal," the spokesperson told Duggan, "all prosecutors go down." And so for the next 7 years, Argentina watched a quiet stockbroker get torn apart in court for a crime he did not commit. The prosecutor produced theories, each weirder than the last. The most famous, that the family had glued María Marta's bullet wound shut with super glue, brand name La Gotita, to hide them from the doctor. La Gotita became a national joke. There was no glues. There was never any glue. A forensic pathologist later testified that the wounds, under microscope, had not been chemically sealed by anything. The glue theory had been fabricated. It didn't matter. In 2007, Carrascosa was acquitted of homicide but convicted of cover-up. In 2009, the appellate court overturned the acquittal and sentenced him to life. Life. For murdering the woman he had lived with for 31 years. He served 7 years in a federal prison in Buenos Aires. And the entire time, the actual man who had killed his wife was still living, 4 houses away from where she died. His name was Nicolás Roberto Pachelo. In October of 2002, he was 26 years old. He lived 4 houses from María Marta Garcia Belsunce inside Carmel. He was the son of a famous racing driver, Roberto Pachelo, killed in a circuit accident in 1996. His mother, Sylvia Ryan, would die by suicide in 2003, the day before she was scheduled to testify in this case. She left letters. The case has never officially recovered those letters. Pachelo had a record. He had been on a police register since he was 6 years old. 6, when he set fire to his older brother's bed. As an adult, he was investigated for serial robberies inside Carmel itself, houses he scouted, houses where he knew the security routines, houses where, more than once, gold and cash disappeared from bedside tables while the owners slept. A psychologist who evaluated him in his early 20s, Patricia Ferreira, would later testify under oath that Pachelo demonstrated, quote, elements compatible with a psychopathic personality disorder. She said he reacted to sessions with intimidatory language directed at her, the court expert. She said he discussed his father's death, and later, his mother's, with no detectable emotional register. 3 witnesses from inside Carmel would later tell the court that María Marta Garcia Belsunce was afraid of him. One, Nora Pichi Burgues de Taylor, said it directly. Quote, she was very afraid of him. Another, Mariano Maggi, testified that Pachelo once told him casually in conversation, if I had the guts to kill my old man, imagine what I could do to you and your mother. And the reason María Marta Garcia Belsunce was afraid of him, the reason she had specifically gone to the Pilar police months before her death and filed a formal report with his name on it, was not robbery, it was not threats. It was something the English language coverage of this case has consistently underplayed. It was a dog. A black Labrador named Tom, the Garcia Belsunce family dog. Tom had vanished from Carmel earlier that year. Days later, a stranger had phoned the family demanding 5,000 pesos for his return. María Marta had refused. She'd taken the matter to the police, and she had, by name, identified the prime suspect as her neighbor, Nicolás Pachelo. A witness later came forward, a dog caretaker named Florindo Cometo, who testified that Nicolás Pachelo had brought him a black Labrador. The dog was, quote, identical to Tom. Pachelo claimed he had found him, so picture it, a police report, filed by a 50-year-old woman against her wealthy, dangerous, 4 doors down neighbor over a kidnapped dog, months before the same neighbor would be placed by 3 teenage boys walking home from soccer practice, running toward her house 1 minute before she walked through her own front door. She had named him. She had reported him. She had embarrassed him. And then she went home to take a bath. Their names were Pedro Asperoz, Marco Cristiani, and Santiago Azoré. They were teenage boys, 3 of them, walking home from Carmel's soccer field on the afternoon of October 27, 2002. They were walking past the Garcia Belsunce house when they saw a man running. They knew him. Everyone inside Carmel knew him. The man was Nicolás Pachelo. He was running, they said, toward her house. 1 minute later, 1 minute, they saw María Marta Garcia Belsunce ride past them on her bicycle. She was heading home. The 3 boys remembered it. They remembered it because of the cadence, a familiar adult running where no adult runs, and then the woman of that house, alone, on a bicycle, 60 seconds behind him. And here is what makes that testimony nuclear. Nicolás Pachelo, for 22 years, told the police he had not been in Carmel that afternoon. He claimed he had been 40 kilometers south in the city of Buenos Aires. Carmel's own security cameras filmed his car leaving the gated community at 7:07 p.m., 20 minutes after the murder. His cell phone pinged a Pilar antenna, not a Buenos Aires antenna, during the entire crime window. He had been there. The cameras filmed him leaving. The boys had seen him running. And Diego Molina Pico, the prosecutor, had every one of those facts on his desk. by early 2003, he did nothing with them. For the next 2 decades, the file on Nicolás Pachelo simply sat there. Pablo Duggan, the journalist, would later put it this way, quote, "The evidence against Pachelo is not new. It was just never investigated." On December 20th, 2016, the Supreme Court of the province of Buenos Aires acquitted Carlos Carrascosa. The ruling described the original investigation as containing, and I'm quoting the actual ruling here, serious irregularities. It restored his name. It returned him to his family. It freed him after 7 years in a federal cell. He walked out of prison 67 years old. The press photographs of him from that morning look, more than anything, like a man who has been awake for 14 years. His mother-in-law, María Marta's mother, Luz María Gallup Lanús, the woman who had said for 14 years, in interview after interview, that the murderer of her daughter was, quote, outside the family, was not there to see it. She had died in 2013, 3 years too early. In 2017, in an interview with La Nación, the journalist who had covered the case for over a decade asked her surviving sister, María Laura Garcia Belsunce, a journalist herself, what her mother had said in those last years. She quoted her mother directly, quote, "I feel that she's about to come for a visit. I leave the door unlocked. 11 years of saying the right thing. 11 years of being called paranoid, hysterical, complicit, an enabler of her son-in-law's crime by a state prosecutor's office that already knew in private who had actually done it. There is one piece of evidence this case has never resolved. Not in 2002, not in 2009, not in 2016, not even in 2024. On the afternoon of the murder, a friend of María Marta's, a woman walking near the house, reported seeing somebody leaving through the front door. A woman, not a man, wearing pink or possibly purple. The lighting was poor. The friend was an artist. She helped a sketch artist draw an identikit, a police composite. The composite was circulated in 2003. The Argentine press named the figure in it La Dama de Rosa, the lady in pink. For years, the family privately compared the composite to one specific person, Inés Dávalos Cornejo, the wife of Nicolás Pachelo. We need to be careful here. We need to be exact. Inés Dávalos Cornejo gave DNA in 2017. Her DNA did not match the female DNA recovered from the crime scene. She has never been charged. She has never been convicted. She is, today, the operator of 2 small businesses, the mother of 3 of Pachelo's children. She separated from him in 2009 and filed restraining orders against him. She is not the woman in the hallway, but somebody is. In 2017, the forensic team that had inherited this case 15 years too late did one final thing. They returned to the original physical evidence. They cataloged a piece of hallway carpet, a piece that had been outside the bathroom on the night of the murder. They tested it. They found a female DNA profile, a complete identifiable female DNA profile mixed into the carpet fibers. It was not María Marta's. It was not the housekeepers. It was not the masseuses. It was not Inés Dávalos Cornejo's. It belonged to a woman who has, to this day, never been identified. The court that convicted Nicolás Pachelo did so on the bullets, on the cameras, on the boys, on the dog, on the motive. They did not need to identify the woman in the hallway in order to convict him, and so they did not. She's still out there. She was in the house. She was on the carpet. And in 23 years, and counting, no one can tell you her name. December 2022, 20 years after the murder, Nicolás Pachelo finally stood trial. He had been indicted not just for murder, but in connection with a string of robberies inside Carmel itself. On the witness stand was María Marta's sister, María Laura Garcia Belsunce, herself a journalist. She testified that Pachelo had threatened her twice. Once in a shopping mall food court when he approached her, threw a plate of food at her and said, quote, "Give this to Carlos. He must be dying of hunger in prison." Once on a Buenos Aires street when he told her, "Stop talking about me or I'll kill all of you." During her testimony, the prosecution asked the court to remove Pachelo from the room. The woman on the stand was, in the words of the official transcript, in panic. In December 2022, that first court somehow acquitted Pachelo of the murder. He was convicted only of the robberies. The family appealed. On March 27, 2024, the Cámara de Casación Penal of Buenos Aires, Chamber 2, Judges Mancini Hebeca and Budinho, overturned the acquittal. They convicted Nicolás Pachelo of homicide. They sentenced him to life. Their ruling, in writing, the homicide was executed by the couple's neighbor, Pachelo being the one who killed the sociologist, in order to secure the impunity of the robbery taking place at the victim's home. On February 19, 2025, the highest appellate chamber in Buenos Aires province upheld the conviction. Final. Pachelo is in prison. 22 years, 5 bullets, 4 doors down. And the prosecutor, Diego Molina Pico, the man whose investigation the Supreme Court of Buenos Aires described in writing as containing serious irregularities. The Supreme Court of Buenos Aires province ruled in 2016 that Diego Molina Pico's original investigation contained serious irregularities. It freed Carrascosa. It vindicated the family. Diego Molina Pico is still, as of this recording, working as a prosecutor in the San Isidro Judicial District, the same district where he prosecuted the wrong man for 7 years. He has not been disbarred. He has not resigned. He has not, to date, faced public criminal proceedings. Carlos Carrascosa, now in his 80s, is a private prosecutor in a separate cover-up case against him. In April of 2024, a Buenos Aires court formally accepted Carrascosa's standing to pursue that case. Luz Maria Galup, the mother, died in 2013, 11 years before her daughter's killer was named. The woman in the hallway, the one whose DNA sat in a forensic lab from 2002 until 2017, the one Argentine press named La Dama de Rosa, the one with the pink jacket, has never been identified. Nicolás Pachelo is in prison. The husband is free. The mother is dead. The prosecutor still signs warrants 3 blocks from the courthouse where he ruined an innocent man. And the woman who was in that house with whoever fired those shots is still alive somewhere in a country of 46 million people. Every case leaves an echo. Some echoes you can hear for years. Some get quieter. Some never stop. This one is still ringing.